to another edition of Golfsoup. As always, I'm your host, James Lee. This is a very special edition of Golfsoup, our 250th episode. We've traveled to the Chattanooga Billiards Club this week to have this event. We're surrounded with good friends, good sponsors, good cameramen. We've got a lot of people here. We're going to revisit some of the good times we had in the past. Our good friend Jeff Greason, who used to host the show with me, is here tonight, so we can relive some of the famous and infamous moments that we've had in Golfsoup's history through 250 episodes. We're going to play a few games of pool. Of course, we're not going to show you that because I'm not that good at pool. But anyway, we're going to loosen up here, play a few games of pool. We'll break away for a minute and hear from the good people here at Chattanooga Billiards Club. Thank them for hosting this show, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Phil Wyndham, proprietor of Chattanooga Billiard Club. I'd like to give you a quick tour of our facility. This is our Hemingway room. It's the smaller of 3 rooms, and it'll accommodate a small group of around 25. Great for small, intimate parties. The Grand Havana room is our mid-size room. It'll accommodate 75 to 80 people, and this is where we show our UFC fights on a monthly basis. It's also good for small get-togethers and office parties. The Tropicana room is our largest of 3 rooms and will accommodate 200 people, great for class reunions and holiday parties, and also doubles as our smoke-free dining room for lunch. We're very proud of our billiard room, which features 20 gold-crowned pool tables, and we offer billiard leagues 4 nights a week, which are very inexpensive and lots of fun. The Havana room is the only room that's private, and as you can see, the common denominator for this room is the cigar and the pipe. Open to the public and available for private parties, for food, fun, spirits, 7 days a week till 3 a.m. It's CBC.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our 250th episode here at the Chattanooga Billiards Club. Once again, I want to thank the fine folks here for having us out tonight so that we can do our 250th show and as I said, just kind of reflect on where we've been in the past, tell you the status of Golfsoup, and even talk a little bit later on about the future. But before we go any further, I want to introduce you to some people. Most of you are going to know them. I'm going to start with my right here with Jeff Greason. Jeff used to be the co-host of Golfsoup. We had a lot of good times together, didn't we, partner?
You know, it was. You know, I think Jimmy and I did the show from about mid-98 till maybe early 01, something like that, and it was a big part of my life in that time. I had a lot of good times and a lot of laughs that we still bring up.
Yes, we've already brought up a lot of them tonight. Some of them we cannot share on camera. To my left here, first seat, Jeff Cooper. Guys, y'all know him each and every week, my cameraman. Jeff's just has really grown and developed into a fantastic cameraman. Gets the shot so much more and got steady hands. I can remember the days when Jeff and I did it where we'd film each other, and I can't even fathom doing that again. So Jeff does a great job. My brother Shane Leith. Shane's been a very integral part of Golfsoup since we started it back. I'm thinking about 2 years now. 2 years. About 2 years we've been running. Shane does a lot of work behind the scenes for us, which you see his credits all the time. Doesn't do that much camera work anymore. Brad Allen's back there behind one of the cameras we've got set up tonight. We've got so many, I have no idea which way to turn or look. And besides Shane there is Tommy Ivester. Tommy Ivester is our longest running sponsor and a good friend of Golfsoup, and everybody here at the table too. So it wouldn't have felt right to have done this show without Tommy and Indoor Air Solutions, not just for the sponsorship, like I say, but for the great friendship that we have. And plus, he plays at Lupton City Golf, which all of y'all know that I operate now, own and operate. So anyway, we're kind of going to wing it tonight and fly by the hip and talk about some of the good times we've had, some of the more memorable moments. Jeff, we'll start with you. Obviously, you're a little closer as far as the memorable moments go. Give us your what stands out the most in your mind with Golfsoup. This is a long pause here. I can help you out if you want me to, because I know which one it is.
Go ahead.
Actually, it was.
I was wanting to say risk reward, but I just didn't have it in my heart. So a risk reward came to mind, and then we had the number 5 hole at Stonebridge Golf Club where Jimmy had an expletive to describe his shot, and I said, Jimmy, my grandmother watches this show. Nanny don't like that word.
That was.
But there's so many. I mean, good times. You know, we loaded up every week when I was finishing up college, and you know, we'd ride around in the truck and go to all kinds of parts of town, and you know, probably took over from Justin when he started out with you, and kind of got to lay the groundwork for what has evolved today to be Golfsoup with you and Coop, and you know, I still watch it every week. You know, thank goodness for DVR, and I get to see you guys, and it brings back a lot of fond memories and a lot of fun and laughs, and you know, I know what you're thinking when you hit the shot.
And he does, because he was there for so long. The two stories that you're talking about, they're actually funny stories. We'll visit the Stone Bridge when I it's kind of a bad period for me, or a bad moment in time, but at the time my speech was a lot different. I was a lot younger and spoke a little more gruffly, I guess you'd say.
It's fair.
I'd hit my second shot on the 5th hole at Stone Bridge, par 5. I hit a 4-wood and just blew it way right into the woods. I mean, way right into the woods. And usually after I turn around and say something to the camera, Jeff cut the camera, and you know, we'd move on, because at that time we had actually got down to a science of how we did the show. I mean, we tried to get 30 straight minutes, and that way I didn't have to do a lot of editing, because back then it was editing with VCRs and stuff, and it took a very, very long time to do it. But anyway, Jeff had asked me, I figured, I thought he had turned the camera off, and he said, what happened there, Pods? And I blurted out, blank, I don't know. It was a bad blank too. Well, anyway, I knew what, or Jeff said, I still have the camera on. Well, I knew that, and so I edited it out of the show. No big deal. That's probably the only time I ever had to edit anything out of the show. But it was a bad shot, people. I'm telling you, it was a really bad shot. Well, as it turns out, I hit it deep in the woods. I knock it up on the green about 25 feet, and I make it for birdie. So it turned out to be one of the best holes I'd ever played, because I got, you know, into trouble and out of trouble and made birdie. So when we went back to do a best of Golfsoup, I said, oh, that hole at Stone Bridge is perfect, because I had done so much. Erica's coming in, our waitress is coming in right now. That's okay, sweetie, come on in.
Here's regular.
Sitting down and drinks. This is Erica at CBC. She's been taking care of us all night, and we very much appreciate her.
She works
Say
at
hi to
Coletta
the camera.
Bank part-time.
Hi.
Yeah.
No, that's regular. Did you want regular?
I like sugar. He doesn't. Regular?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Or non-alcoholic beverages here.
Yeah. One of the...
Give me that pasta.
No, it's okay.
Okay, I'll pour you.
Thank you, Erica.
You're welcome.
Anyway, back to the show. It was one that needed to go on the best of Golfsoup because of the recovery. Well, again, back then we were doing with VCRs and stuff, so it took a long time. I just put it in one VCR and let the other VCR record it. And as I was doing it, we had the driving range at the time. I went off to do something else, so I just let the whole hole run and kind of looked back in there. And when the hole was over, I paused it, and you know, it was all good and ready to go on VHS and head to the studio. But I'd forgotten about
So the best of Golfsoup actually had the best of Golfsoup. That was one of the best descriptions of the shot he hit.
Yes, you're exactly right. It was a terrible shot. But anyway, it goes on TV, and I forget about it. And Jeff calls me up, or not just Jeff. I had so many phone calls from this one incident, not from just the fans and the people who watch the show, but from television station, everybody down the line when I blurted that terrible word out. Jeff said, my grandmother watches this show.
Yeah. Respect her name.
It was an embarrassing time, but it's just one of those things that happen when you do film. We've never had anything like that since, particularly this time starting back. But it was a definitely forgettable moment for Golfsoup. All right, Cooper, let's go to you and your most memorable moment. I know what you're going to say, but I know what it is too. So, go ahead, fire away, Coop.
Well, it was when Tommy won the set of irons in their first Super Bowl golf tournament.
I'll set it up a little bit for you guys. We had our first Super Bowl tournament benefiting the Chattanooga Area Food Bank at Moccasin Bend. Direct Buy, I think, was a sponsor. They were giving away a set of X14s.
No, it was just X Forged Callaway.
Callaways, you should know, you won them. Anyway, we had a putting contest for him. You had to qualify, and then he came back. And
Jimmy didn't win.
putting, no. Jimmy's putting never wins. No, that's not true. I'm not a bad putter. Anyway, Tommy was the closest to the hole on the putt for the irons once everybody qualified and everybody got their last putt. And Ronnie Shirley, ironically Tommy's best friend, we're, golly, I'm telling this story right after we just told the story about Stonebridge, and I said nothing like that has happened since. And here is another incident.
You also said we never edited anything else either, which I almost card right there.
Aaron, now you learn how to use that button.
We just went bleep on that one. Anyway, Ronnie says Tommy's winning, and the last putter comes up. Was it you?
It was me.
Cooper was the last putter in the contest and hit a really good putt, but you could tell it was going to be outside of Tommy's. And Ronnie, off camera, Shane was actually filming it, and off camera you heard, "Are you blanking me? Tommy's going to win these irons. Are you blanking me?" And this is best for you. Anyway, I didn't pick it up in the editing process, and now I've even got a backup. I've got Michelle Wilkins from Wilkins Production who does Golfsoup and edits it for us, and she didn't pick it up, so I'm sitting there watching with Tracy, my wife to be at the time, and the two kids. And actually, he even said a couple more words in there because there were three of them, actually. And I'm watching it, and you know how you get that hot sweat? You're like, you know what I'm thinking? I hope the kids didn't hear that. Well, they did. And Ronnie, and nothing against Ronnie just being Ronnie, but anyway, it was an embarrassing moment for Golfsoup yet again, but a funny moment also. But as far as Cooper goes, the most memorable moment for us. Come on, Cooper, let's tell them about it. Everybody's seen it already by now, and if you haven't, you can check out YouTube, Lafayette front nine, and you see Cooper. We're on the 9th tee at Lafayette. Cooper, he's trying to tee his ball out. He wants to hit a drive on the 9th hole, which Cooper hits a lot of shots. Sometimes he even plays holes with me, but wanted to hit a drive on this hole. He didn't have his clubs. He was using my driver. Went to tee it up. It fell off the tee. Put it back on. It fell off the tee. Put it back on. And Cooper's got the Sergio Garcia thing going. He pumps it and pumps it and pumps it. We did that 4 or 5 times. Then the ball fell off the tee again. Well, he gets down there and tries to put it back on. It falls off. It falls off. Gets it back on. Pump, pump, pump. Falls off again. I mean, and this is going on for about a minute, which is a long time in TV time. So he gets it back, goes to tee it back up again, and when he does, he's got a mouthful of tobacco spit.
And you asked me something, is what it was.
I don't remember. I think you just drooled.
No, you asked me something, I was trying to answer you.
Cooper goes
You said you want me to tee it up for you, is what you said.
I'm glad you got to hear. Anyway, when I said it or asked it, whatever, this mouthful of drool just comes out of Cooper's mouth. And it's a string this long and hits the ground. It was hilarious. Again, check it out on YouTube, Lafayette front nine. You'll see Cooper drooling all over himself.
Did he hit a good shot at least?
He topped it.
That wasn't on camera, though.
Classic.
No, it was on camera. I just didn't edit that one into the show.
Okay.
He hit a second one. He hit a decent one, but he topped the first
Well,
one.
one of my favorite things was, I didn't get to see it firsthand, but the episode that you played at Bear Trace was so good when, the current credits are going through and it was almost hole after hole. It was like a highlight reel.
Yeah.
What happened there? You just in the zone? You
Well,
had the...
and you actually have some history with that too, something I wanted to talk about before the night was over. It was one of those days where you were just kind of in the zone on your game. It was crazy how well it worked out. Started off the first hole, had an impossible bunker shot on the first hole. I mean, one that if I keep it on the green is just amazing, and I skanked it, to be quite honest with you, but skanking it was all I could do.
Was that when you had the
Position.
downhill
Yeah.
lie with on the back of the lip?
Yep, had nothing, could do nothing. All I could do was try to hit it as hard as I could and hope for the best. Hope for the best. Got a 10-footer, missed it, make bogey. Come to the second hole, a 569-yard par 5. Took me about 15 seconds to do the math on it. I said, that's 31 yards shy of 600. No, that's 21 yards shy of 600. No, that's 31.
Well, you forgot the barometric pressure.
Well, you know. Anyway, it was 569-yard par 5. You know, you're never thinking getting home in 2, but I really hammered a drive, a little cut up the left center and worked its way back to the middle. Didn't think I'd get a forward there from where I was at, but wound up getting it, pin high, just
Off the edge and ring.
3-4 feet off the edge, and certainly was not thinking about making eagle. In fact, I'd mentioned many times in the future, and this is where Jeff comes into the history of it. Many times in the future, I had great eagle putts at him, but I missed them. And of course, this one I didn't even mention. You know, we might get our first eagle on camera at Golfsoup, so it's just no chance. I've got 45, 50 feet from off the edge of the green, and the dead gun thing goes in the hole. And I knew it about 10 foot from the hole. This thing's going in, you know. So there's my first ever eagle on Golfsoup, and of course, you see the reaction each and every week to come on. And I made mention of that. That is the first eagle for Golfsoup on camera, but that was not true, was it, Jeff?
Jeff got on the cell phone when that one aired and said, you remember number 6, I guess it was? No, what number is that? I don't even know. 13, I guess.
13.
Concord.
13 at Concord.
Well, you know, I mean, it's a long par 5 too. You know, I must have hit driver 3/4 sandwich.
Yeah,
you know, so
that's more like a half sandwich.
but nevertheless, I made an eagle.
Jeff made the actual first eagle ever on Golfsoup at Concord, and ironically, you know, that was our last episode that we ever filmed.
Was it really?
Sure was.
I didn't realize.
Jeff
that.
made an eagle on the very last episode that we ever filmed together. I think I did one more episode from from Arcadia Farms, but
yeah.
Golfsoup, you know, at that time I had to building the golf course and had the golf course. Something had to give, and unfortunately it was Golfsoup. But Jeff Greason actually made the first eagle ever.
Thank you for that. That completes my life. I've been waiting on the credit for the first eagle of Golfsoup. But it was good times.
We've had a bunch since then on Golfsoup.
I actually got to see you have a hole-in-one, I think, on Golfsoup recently, didn't I? I mean, not recently, but in the last year or so.
Not only a hole-in-one, a hole-in-one on par 4, which counts as either a hole-in-one and a double eagle. Cooper, tell us a little bit about that.
The only thing that
Did it really happen? That's my question.
It actually did happen. The only thing that I hate is that we couldn't see it go in the hole.
Well,
because it was an elevated tee.
well, us in TV land hated it too, but I tell you though, it's
An elevated green, yes. I meant that's what I meant.
Well, we had described it so well, though. You know, I remember saying, you know, that's on a really, really good line there, and we could have a very close eagle putt. When Cooper and I pulled up and got to the top side, Cooper started hitting me on the arm. Hey, that's right next to the hole. That's right next to the hole. I said, Cooper, that's not in the hole. I mean, that's not right next to the hole. That's in the hole, because it never actually went down in the hole. It was stuck against the flag. You're going to see about half the golf ball. So immediately when my eyes went to it, I knew something's different here. You know, and of course Cooper's thinking it's right, real close. But anyway, go up there and shake the flag. Hole-in-one, double eagle.
that's amazing.
Thrill of a lifetime there for sure.
Great shot.
Shane, tell us what you think about Golfsoup. Give us some input from you, my brother Shane Leith.
You know, one of the things I remember the most, or you know, again, not being involved in the day-to-day activities of it, the filming, editing, and so forth as much, but one of the ideas we talked about over dinners several times we brought to life last summer was the Chattanooga Golf Skills competition that you did with Golfsoup, where you had how many? We ended up 10. We had 10. It was actually 9.
Well,
but
9 because Danny Cabot never made it. But
we had 9 guys go out and play kind of like the Big Break, kind of formatted after the Big Break on the Golf Channel, and letting the guys go out and just play each other. And Tommy was involved in that as well, I believe, weren't you, Tommy?
Yeah.
And Cooper, you were in it too,
I
weren't
was
you?
in it, yes.
Yeah. Where did you finish?
6th.
Yeah.
that was a cruel shot.
Yeah. Golfsoup 2, Cooper 0.
It was again, Jimmy trying to film. It was something we thought about doing something for the winter time. When you're trying to fill time in the winter, you can't get out to the golf courses as much. It's cold and the weather's not cooperating and so forth. And it was something that could run for like a 13-week arc or something we were looking at to kind of get through the winter time. And I don't know how people really warmed up to it, if they liked it that much or not, but I enjoyed it a lot. It was probably one of my favorite things we did with Golfsoup, because it was just fun to see everybody else play and the competitions, and especially the little interviews you would do right after they got put out was always classic.
Well, if we got interviews, Jonathan Tidwell, JTM refused to be interviewed when he was put out. Who was he put out by? Tommy Allen. Hey,
great segue.
I'm telling you, that would be a perfect segue, because this is a classic moment in Golfsoup. I'd forgotten about it. We forgot all these things that we talked about, we want to talk about, but that was a great moment. Tommy, take it away and tell us how you went into a 3-hole playoff with Jonathan. Is that correct?
That's right. It was a 3-hole playoff. And we got up to the last hole, and I was down by a stroke. And it was a par 5. And Jonathan, of course, hit a good drive out there. And,
hit a really good drive.
He was up there probably, I'd say, inside about 120, wouldn't you?
Yeah. He had a short shot.
I hit my drive out there, and, of course, Ronnie and my buddy Ronnie, and Jimmy there, they were over there with me on that side of the fairway, and they were talking to me, and I said I got to hit a good shot up there. I said I got to hit one good to put a little pressure on him. I said, because I'm out. I was 180, maybe 190 out.
He was about 200. I think.
Yeah, might have been.
I'll go 190 to 200.
And it was uphill over the hill blind, and I hit a 5-wood up there, and I guess I was maybe 15 feet past the hole on the green, probably. Maybe
20, probably a little more than 15. It was a heck of a putt.
And we got up there, and Jonathan had hit his shot onto the green. I think he may have.
No, he hit it on the green.
He hit it onto the green. He was on.
And he was inside of you.
And he was inside of me. And I putted first. And I just one of those days, how you can just see where the ball's going to go. And I just reared back and made that eagle putt, and I don't know what happened to him.
Jonathan proceeded to 3-putt for about 12 feet.
Yes.
And Tommy winds up winning by 1. I mean, he's down 1 going to a par 5. He's got a 25-foot eagle putt. His opponent's got a 12-foot eagle putt. There's no way he can win this match. I mean, he's out of it. And next thing you know, he's won it. Jonathan's going home, and he is madder than all get out.
He wouldn't even shake my hand.
He wouldn't do an interview for us on camera.
That's sportsmanship. That's another episode.
Yeah, that'd probably be my most memorable.
He did call me next day. He said, "Listen, I'm sorry. I'll wear the same clothes back out, and I'll do an interview for you." We love Jonathan, and part of the lovability to him is how mad he gets at things like that. So.
Jonathan, one thing about Jonathan, his nickname at the course, that's always a good story too.
Yeah.
That involves your friend Ronnie as well. But
we should have had Ronnie here. He's a popular guy.
I know.
His nickname at the course is JTM, and it's what it's just stuck with him since one day last summer when Ronnie was handing out some nicknames. And you want to tell him how they got it, Jimmy?
Said JTM, or Jonathan pays out like an ATM. We're going to call him JTM from now on. So, he was just a money bank, son. Just play him in a match and get money. That's all you had to do. So JTM is stuck with him. When we frame up teams, it's JTM. Now, to JTM's credit,
Chris.
he has worked himself up to be a captain now at Lupton City, albeit from the Red Tees. But he has worked hard at the game, and he's very passionate about the game. In fact, he's so passionate he broke another club yesterday.
Who cares about what? I have no idea.
We have switch seats with Jeff Cooper. Our main cameraman is behind the camera, and our secondary cameraman and our advertising specialist and the business end of Golfsoup, Brad Allen, ladies and gentlemen. Brad, thanks for all you do for us, and We do appreciate it. You've been behind the camera this whole time. Tell us your most memorable moment of Golfsoup so far.
Well, so far I can tell you that my most memorable moment, I think it was when you were hitting the ball on 12 at Moccasin Bend, and you reared back and hit the ball harder than I've ever seen anybody hit the ball. And I was watching it on the YouTube channel, because you can get to the YouTube channel by going to www.leppincitygolf.com and then clicking on the Golfsoup, and it will take you to the YouTube channel.
Or Golfsoup plugger.
And I saw you do that, and I rewound it, and I watched it again, and I rewound it, and I watched it again. I watched you hit that ball on number 12 about 5 or 10 times. And that was the hardest I've ever seen anybody hit the ball. And you said yourself, that's the hardest I've ever hit a ball, or the best I've ever hit a ball, or that's the hardest and the best I've ever hit the ball, and it was. It's just amazing to watch how far you can hit the ball. I can tell you, when you're in the golf cart and you're driving after my drive, you get there in like about 30 seconds. If you get in the golf cart and you're driving after Jimmy's drive, it's like going out of town. You just keep driving and driving and driving, and pretty soon
That boy's longer than train smoke.
I go, geez, where is the ball? It'll be way down there. I mean, the guy just hits the ball. So I snuck this club out of the clubhouse because I wanted to bring it. This is his one of his old drivers, and I don't know if you can see that, Coop, on the camera there, but right there's the split where he's hit the ball so hard that he has busted this driver. And I guess other people have done the same, but I've never seen I can understand why this.
That's
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break, hear some more from Chattanooga Billiards Club out here, who have been so gracious to host us and have us a fantastic place. We're in the Hemingway room at Chattanooga Billiards Club tonight, and it is beautiful, a beautiful room. The walls are dotted with art, a lot of Ernest Hemingway. I see some Samuel Clemens over there. We've got an anaconda up here, or some kind of snake. That's a big snake. Beautiful flat screen TV, just a great place out here. I'd seen it on TV before in some of their advertisements, but did not know just how beautiful this place is. So our hats are off to the Chattanooga Billiards Club. Let's hear a little bit more from them, and we'll be back with some more Golfsoup in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Phil Wyndham, proprietor of Chattanooga Billiard Club. I'd like to give you a quick tour of our facility. This is our Hemingway room. It's the smaller of 3 rooms, and it'll accommodate a small group of around 25. Great for small, intimate parties. The Grand Havana room is our mid-size room. It'll accommodate 75 to 80 people, and this is where we show our UFC fights on a monthly basis. It's also good for small get-togethers and office parties. The Tropicana room is our largest of 3 rooms and will accommodate 200 people, great for class reunions and holiday parties, and also doubles as our smoke-free dining room for lunch. We're very proud of our billiard room, which features 20 gold-crowned pool tables, and we offer billiard leagues 4 nights a week, which are very inexpensive and lots of fun. The Havana room is the only room that's private, and as you can see, the common denominator for this room is the cigar and the pipe. Open to the public and available for private parties, for food, fun, spirits, 7 days a week till 3 a.m. It's CBC.
Thank you so much for the 250th time that I've been able to come into your home, for all the fans that we have. Again, Allie Williams there in Tryon, Georgia, thank you for watching. Just all the great fans, thank you so much for talking to me when you see me out. Hope that we have 250 more episodes, but you can bet there'll at least be 251, because we'll see you again next week. For James Lee and all the great guys here at Golfsoup, we'll see you on the course.